Welcome back. We've now had a chance to join together and discuss some of the learnings so far. At the end of this video, we will put you into pairs to trial some useful approaches together. Practice makes perfect. But first, it is time to talk to you about your performance. How do you feel when you hear this, and why? Pause the video whilst you write down your answers. However you felt when you heard the statement, it still does not provide clarity on what the talk might be about. It is vague and ambiguous. So it's important to be specific when requesting conversations and give clarity on the purpose. What you think about, you bring to life. Thoughts become things. From your answers, you can categorize them into positive and negative mind talk. Negative mind talk leaves you unsure. What have I done wrong? Positive mind talk, you are happy with the standard of work you are producing and have no worries. You believe you are a valued and good employee. Now, what if you needed to have a conversation with someone that is not performing well or not meeting the required expectations? We've spoken about the challenges to having quality conversations, but our self-talk and mindset is one of the reasons that we shy away from having a conversation that we might assume be difficult or confrontational. This is all normal and natural. We mentioned before that a key part to creating a culture of quality conversations is steeped within feedback. We will now look at how you can effectively deliver and receive feedback. The psychology of feedback requires us to ask ourselves 3 questions. Am I competent? Am I a good person? And am I respected? By applying the psychology of feedback, we can turn this negative mind talk into positive mind talk. Quality conversations should be happening more often, not just when the employee is underperforming. In theory, it is a lot easier to have a quality conversation when the employee is doing well. So when giving feedback, consider the following questions. Am I skilled to effectively deliver the feedback? Am I treating everyone the same way? Am I respectful and empathetic? Alternatively, when receiving feedback, ask yourselves the following questions. Do I meet the standard or expectation? Do I work hard? Do people value me? What are some ways you can reduce anxiety and alleviate stress from the situation? Pause the video whilst you reflect on your thoughts. One of the key contributors to the lack of quality conversations is anxiety or a lack of confidence. Ensuring people are relaxed prior to entering a quality conversation raises the prospect of value that you can get from the conversation. So, when it comes to having quality conversations, we can reduce anxiety in the following ways. Start with heart. Understand your own motivations for having the conversation. Do you want this person to succeed in the role? If not, you won't be sincere. Next, agree the explicit purpose. They shouldn't have to guess why you are having the conversation. And finally, contrast. An example of contrasting is, your overall performance is great. What I'd like to talk to you about is how you plan to hit your sales targets for the year. Contrasting settles anxiety. This can also be described as a praise sandwich. How often do we use the praise sandwich model? Is it effective for us? Why or why not? If you don't feed back to someone, then it may seem that you don't care about their development or that you don't want to invest in a relationship with them. Quality conversations are about an investment in the relationship. It takes time and energy. How often do we ask for feedback? Do we wait until we are asked? How often are we asked? Whose responsibility is it to ask for feedback? Pause the video whilst you reflect on your thoughts. Feedback can help people to understand what they do well and so encourage them to do those things more frequently. It can also be described as playing to their strengths. It can also help to raise awareness to improve and sustain performance. A useful model to use is BIFF. B. State the behavior that has been observed. I. Explain the impact of the specific behavior factually and without judgment. F. What do you feel when the person demonstrates this behavior? F. Agree the objectives that are expected in the future. Another useful model to use is start, stop, continue. What would you like them to start doing? Consider new ideas and situations. What would you like them to stop doing? Actions that are impractical or not desired. And what would you like them to continue doing? Processes that are working well. Prior to the workshop, you were asked to think about feedback you would like to give to another employee. As pairs, label one of you as A, the line manager, and the other one as B, the employee. Volunteer A should ask themselves the 3 questions from the giving feedback section. Volunteer B should ask themselves the 3 questions from the receiving feedback section. Volunteer A will give the feedback to Volunteer B using the BIFF model acronym. And we encourage you to experiment with different types of feedback: developmental, praise, high performer, low performer. Compare and contrast, reverse the roles. Share together how that experience was and lead with emotive responses. I saw, I felt, I heard. Discuss how this can help us in certain circumstances. Once completed, you are then ready to join the next webinar.